Got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is gas prices are down, only $1.84 a liter. I can't believe that that is good news. Even 6 months ago, that would have been terrifying news, but it's good news. Maybe a little bit of demand destruction, maybe a little bit of bottlenecking, which has been loosened up a little bit in the supply chain, but I'm not holding my breath on that getting any better than it already is. Anyways, we got a lot of bad news too, everything from flash floods to wildfires to record heat waves baking every continent on the planet to insane amounts of drought, which is just blanketing the grain belt. We got parabolic energy prices. We have governments collapsing. Some prime ministers are being assassinated. Some are being chased out of the country. Some are just flat out resigning. Here in the West, we have major cities preparing for nuclear Armageddon. It's now become commonplace and mainstream to talk about how to prepare for nuclear war, which is rather foreboding when you look at it on its face. And then we also have world leaders talking about how all hell is about to break loose.
Because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say.
What do you think about Hunter, your son? There's a video of him arguing with a hooker about how much crack he has. What do you think about that, Mr. President?
Okay? Because make no mistake about it.
Fox News alert, Hunter Biden could face federal sex trafficking charges for transporting prostitutes across state lines. Documents and videos obtained by the Daily Mail show Hunter paying to bring the hookers hundreds of miles to his hotel. This all happened during a 5-month, $30,000 sex binge where Hunter wrote false checks disguised as medical payments to pay for prostitutes. Some of it financed by his father, Joe. Here's the story. Back in 2018, while Hunter was staying in a swanky $700 a night room in New York, he was looking for a good time, so he hit up his go-to supplier to see what girls were available. Moments later, Hunter's buying 3 tickets for prostitutes on Amtrak. Ironically, it's the same rail line his father rode to work on. The girls sent videos of themselves on the train to Hunter to let him know they're on the way. And once they arrived there was an orgy which Hunter filmed. Of course, because there isn't a crime Hunter hasn't filmed. So by paying to transport escorts from Boston to New York, Hunter may have violated the Mann Act, which makes it a felony to transport individuals for the purpose of prostitution. R. Kelly was actually convicted of violating the Mann Act, but then again, R. Kelly isn't the president's son.
This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
This all comes as hackers claim they've penetrated into Hunter's iPhone. They released all sorts of stuff across the internet over the weekend. Primetime isn't legally able to broadcast material like this at this time, but what we've seen so far is disturbing and involves very personal and financial and family information. Our president's open to the kind of blackmail that could put our whole country at risk. What we can show you is this unreleased video, though.
No, I just laid out the bag. It's 2.06.
2.07 without the bag.
So how long is...
So this is interesting because taking down crack users used to be Joe Biden's #1 priority.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
With all of this floating around, why does the CIA even allow Hunter Biden at the White House?
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't fucking breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah. 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 Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Real or ransom. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Real or ransom.
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you chewing on me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Can't breathe, Sarah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Sorry,
I just got here, so fill me in.
No problem. Like, he and I are putting a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together.
You are putting a puzzle together?
Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there.
Okay.
We've been doing art, trying to take the stuff off the wall to make new art put up there, like having a good time with one another. But we're drinking. We had a bottle of wine last night.
Okay.
So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right?
Okay.
So he gets in the suitcase, okay?
Who is this guy?
That's my ex-husband, my former husband.
How did he live here with you guys?
No, I called him over here.
Okay, okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So then he came over here.
Here, let's talk in private, okay?
I called you guys. I tried giving him CPR. The problem is I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
When did you do CPR?
This morning, when I found it.
Before you called?
Yes!
1 o'clock right now.
I tried.
Big booty Latina, I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
Why don't you do a little selfie?
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
A cesariana, e aí tem um lençol separando a equipe que está fazendo a cirurgia do anestesista, do Giovanni, que está aí à direita do vídeo. E a gente consegue...
For that report. You know, the exhibit is open until August, so you can still check that out. Discover Schenectady. You should really check that out. They do so many good things in Schenectady. The leaders there, they are hopeful that that exhibit's going to bring even more events and exhibits to the area in the future. And so moving on tonight is we have to tell you also, you know, like other news that's happening in the area and across the, you know, the area in the nation. Let me tell you about this. A 4-year-old girl is actually dead. Another man is clinging to life.
Credit scores were only invented in 1989. Your parents and grandparents probably want you to believe that they also had to go through getting a credit history to get a mortgage, but the truth is they didn't. Before credit scores existed, all they had to do was walk into a bank and they'd get approved for a mortgage on the spot right there and then, basically. Now, the reason it was invented in the first place was in response to the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, which basically banned the banks from denying credit to someone based on their race, religion, or ethnicity, or gender. And because of that act, certain groups of people were now able to actually afford and buy a house. And certain other groups of people were scared of the idea of certain individuals moving into the house next door to them. So they needed a new way to gatekeep buying houses. So they made up a system where you had to go into debt and pay off credit, prove that you can pay back this mortgage that you were asking for from the bank, despite the fact that for years and years, banks did not have an issue with lending money to anyone for any reason, I guess. I mean, you could be a convicted felon and still get a loan or a mortgage. famous outlaw John Marston in Red Dead Redemption 2 was not denied one, despite the fact that he had federal agents after him. So between 1976, when this act was passed, and 1979, all the credit companies basically consolidated together to make a system that they can all use universally. And by 1995, all the banks out there basically started using this credit scoring system to judge whether or not someone is eligible for a mortgage. And this allowed banks to basically say, oh, you can't buy a house in that area, your credit rating is too low. But you can buy a house in this area where everyone else is also on a low credit score, that we just decided for ourselves, I guess, because you didn't have the chance to build any credit because you weren't allowed to have any earlier on.
For us, meaning black people, whatever you want to take it from, for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here, we have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, you know, everybody need a little help on their way to being, you know, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something and they to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it, and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then he need to help him. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it need to be real. And it need to be before we all die and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants.
So people would say, well, they earned it. Now you go out and you're earning it.
If they earned it, then I think that that's good. And I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or $1. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing? And you can sleep? You can still go to the movies about, I mean, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never going to be rich, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary. And it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or, look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion. But can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me.